Hey everyone, it is Dave and that's Bo. She's under the car today because it's hot. It's going to be hot all weekend. It's going to be hot all next week. It's like it's summer or something. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and out to the garden, leave Bo in her shaded spot there, and take a stroll around, see what's blooming and doing well. One of the things that always does well that I don't really talk about all that much is society garlic. Society garlic seems like it's always in bloom, probably 9-10 months out of the year. It is not a true garlic. It is Tulbagia is the botanical name. It is a very, very hardy plant. If you have not had much success growing plants, try society garlic. Half day to full day sun, can take dry locations, although it does do better with average water. And I've heard even it can be in a swampy place that has poor drainage. It's a very versatile plant for the yard, well worth putting in, trying out. The only bad part is it's called society garlic for a reason. If you brush up against it, if you cut it back, if you bruise any of the leaves, you're gonna have that pungent garlic smell that's gonna last for a little while, maybe an hour or two. So make sure it's not in a place where it's going up a pathway to your front door. Put it out far away from any place where people are gonna naturally knock into it. This to me is even a little bit too close to a patio area. Other than that, we've got a lemon plant right next to it. No lemons though right now and no blossoms. It is a Meyer lemon, but the plant's nice and healthy. Over to our genetic dwarf fruit trees, we have the peach, which had wonderful blossoms on this year. A few fruit, also the nectarine. Also again, I have these for the blossoms rather than the fruit production. Genetic dwarfs historically have never been super great for fruit production. It's cool because they're dwarf fruit trees and they're great for containers. And this is, a plant that's probably 20 to 25 years old at the right here. This one's also about the same age. It's a year younger. The reason it looks so different is a tree branch fell on it and literally thought it was going to kill the whole tree, but luckily a few of the branches did survive. But that tree that lost its branch is gone. It was removed. In fact, it used to flank either side of the gate here, and that's well before I started doing these garden videos. We have the beautiful apricot tree here. Again, I can't complain for its growth this year. I got about 5 apricot. It's second year in the ground, so next year I'm expecting a really nice harvest. Got the gumdrop shaped bay laurel tree here. Again, you can buy this in various types of configurations. You can buy it as a standard, and that's what this is when you have about a 3-foot stem, 4-foot stem in this case, and then the top. You can also buy it as normal 1-gallon shrub, just like something as you would have with the false heather here. And you would basically prune it as you would a boxwood. So it's very versatile again. That beautiful red dragon Japanese maple looks like it's giving some multicolors now as well. Beautiful Liriope in bloom. And over here, the dwarf mugo pine, slow mound is the variety. Do have one really great looking sandback jasmine. I think we've got it bloom down over here on this one. Very, very fragrant. One of my favorite jasmine smells, but it doesn't travel. You have to be right up against the flower to smell and enjoy that fragrance. The cherry tree back here Doesn't look like any of the roses are really in full bloom. The lilies, they are done now, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut them back probably to about here, so you still have a tremendous amount of foliage that's gonna be producing food for the bulb as it dies back. I'm just gonna get those seed heads and unsightly parts of the plant gone, and they'll blend in with the Leonotis, which is behind it. Keep in mind for your bulbs, whether they're daffodils, hyacinths, lilies, gladiolas, the foliage that you have up this year is next year's blossom. So always let that die back naturally. This is the Leonotis, beautiful orange whorl flowers. We do have this lily. This is Broken Heart. And I just wanted to zoom in here and take a look at all those petals. Definitely not a standard lily like we would see with the Easter lilies, where you just have kind of a trumpet shape. This is a double. Very, very fragrant at night. Beautiful color contrast, and something that's really easy to grow. So if you've never grown bulbs before, if you're a little scared or standoffish, this is one that I would definitely recommend. I did get this from White Flower Farms. Down here is the sweet pea bush. And back up here is another lily that hasn't blossomed yet. This is Casablanca. This will be a large white flower, very similar to an Easter lily. Behind it, one of the better surviving plants that I've put in over the last couple years is almond bush. Almond bush, when you look at the flowers, you'll see that it is in the same family as lemon verbena, if you're familiar with their flowers. So this is Aloysia, is the botanical name, and I think Aloysia is also the botanical for lemon verbena, but I'm not 100% sure. But these flowers are fragrant. They are fragrant when you stand up to them. If you're in a closed-in car, I remember traveling home with this plant in a 1-gallon container, and I definitely had to open the windows because of it, but it's not overpowering in the yard by any means. The crabapple tree in the back, which I need to get to desperately. All the Shastas have pretty much finished. I need to get back in there and cut those blossoms off. The apple tree, just coming to the end of its harvest right now. And I'm looking forward to that dahlia coming up and blooming again. It's a little bit less vigorous the second year. Over here in the yard, you can see the teepee that's put up around the dogwood. You can also see that beautiful butterfly there that just flew away. Guess it's camera shy. This is a tree I'm going to go ahead and wrap with some shade cloth so it doesn't get burned by that afternoon sun. Seems to be holding up pretty well. We are in the end of July now. Today's date, July 19th, 2024. So we are about a month away past the summer solstice, and it is still hot, and it is still getting a lot of sun here. The neighbors actually have some plumbago, and that kind of grows up through the fence and into these Japanese privets, but it's always cool to see because the blooms are very prolific, and I will tell you, they're also very sticky. So if you're ever pruning a plumbago, you will have plumbago flowers definitely on you. Over here in the Japanese shade garden, Chinese shade garden, we've got some beautiful Japanese maples here. Bloodgood Got the fern underneath with some Japanese sedge grass. We've got some French sorrel in the back, so very multicultural corner of the yard. This is the Chinese fringe tree up here. You saw that blooming early part of the spring, and that's been a really nice addition to the garden. I can't wait for it to take off. It looks like it is growing a little bit. Excited about that because I want it to really fill up this area. Some gardenias down below, and also a cypress Wilma over there. Kind of has some lemon scent to it when you brush through the foliage. Jatropha, pretty well done blooming. And the false Aurelia over here, seeming like it doesn't even care how hot it is. And that's pretty good for a shade plant when it's out in 100-degree full sun. Over here, another bloodgood Japanese maple. Underneath the shade cloth is the Clivia with definitely burned edges. And over here, the Magnolia Solangiana, beautiful yellow flower. This is variety Elizabeth. I can't wait for that to bloom this next winter. We do have some yarrow in bloom. Pomegranate. Another Japanese maple Shishigashira there in the dappled shade. Kind of more yarrow at the base. Dahlia, which is rabbit's foot fern. Rabbit's foot fern down here in the bottom as well. See that beautiful euphorbia back here. Not a whole lot to speak on. Echinacea, coneflower. I saw some beautiful multicolored, not multicolored, but they were different colored flowers, but solid colors, if that makes any sense. There's no bicolor that I'm aware of, but I was at a nursery the other day and it had some apricots and some yellows and just had a variety of colors to choose from, with all the varieties coming out now by the major nurseries. Like Monrovia Nursery is a big producer of these, and I'm glad they're getting a little bit more press because they are a good plant for the yard. Also, if you remember, I got the plumeria last week. Plants are enjoying the shaded area over here, saying thank you for keeping me in the shade instead of being in the yard. Remember that geranium we cut back? It's doing really well. Glad we were able to save that, get those weeds out of there. Over here, we got some Calibrachoa blooming. Got a few zinnia blooming. The Eugenia, dwarf Eugenia, filling out really nicely as well. And back here, got that regular Magnolia Alexandria, which is the pink. And then over here, take a look at this beautiful Mandevilla. During the hot parts of the month, you can't go wrong with Mandevilla. It is just such a great vine. Lots of blooms. And I think that is everything I needed to show you this week. So hopefully you are staying cool for the summer, and I will be back next week with another garden video.